I'm Alan Dale, and this is the We Are Tourism podcast. It's such a great conversation we're having with all the people that are in this fantastic hospitality sector in Newfoundland and Labrador. And on that note, Joe, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Okay, my name is Joe O'Brien. I'm a former owner of O'Brien's Boat Tours. I retired last December, but this last little while I've been helping my friend who just recently passed, Roger Jameson, with his resort at Kilmory, and I've been a member of hospitality for over 42 years.
So retirement didn't really work out well for you, Joe. You retired, you're right back at it.
Well, you can't retire when your industry is about passion and love for the people, and to be at this convention and to be around people, the camaraderie you feel, the support you get, the support you give, the knowledge you pass on, that's invaluable in this day and age, because we're always evolving and changing, and if you're not in the know, you're on the slide down, so I don't want to slide yet. 42
years in the industry, Joe. You must have seen a lot of change over that amount of time, but you must have also known right from the very beginning there's something special about this place. There's a product here that we can sort of bring to the world. Talk to me about the changes you've seen over the last 4 decades.
So technology has really changed. We used to communicate by a machine called a telex, and then it became a fax machine, and then it became a pager, and then it became a cell phone, and then it became a BlackBerry, and then it became iPhone, whatever number you want. So technology has really changed. Whereas in the old days, you would try and communicate and send a piece of paper. Today, they just hit a thumb drive, and in 3 seconds, your instantaneous action is viewed by millions of viewers all over the world. So you're basically live to the world, everything you do today.
And you know, while sometimes we feel further apart in the world today, in many respects it's a lot easier to get to one another. Flights and transportation has become easier over the last 40 years. Talk to me about what that's meant for your industry.
So virtualization of life. Everybody has their websites virtual. Everything is very in the know and realistic. So you got to deliver on what they're seeing when they're looking on their websites, and you got to live pretty hardcore right in the now, because everything is happening. It's live. Your Facebook Live stuff is going on. Your Instagram is all instantaneous. You're only a flash on a pan of 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. So you better have something good to show them, and they better be pretty proud of where you're showing them that stuff, because everybody is viewing you in a very big way. Millions and millions of people are following trendsetters and followers. So it's a changed world. You're like you're on stage the whole time.
As one of the more experienced fellas in the room, Joe, how do you feel about the industry right now? Are you happy with the direction it's going?
Oh my God. We've got governments, municipalities, everybody tuning in, and youth joining our association and bringing their twerkiness into the thing, bringing on apps and doing different things. You have places like a rest spot on a beach, a little cabin. 10 people go and sit in a little cabin, and they look out over the ocean, and they don't have their phones, and they just sit there and look out over the ocean. And they become rested, because everybody's so busy with their heads down on their phones today that they don't get a chance to see the things you need to see and the smells you need to smell. So we're creating all these ideas, and people are jumping on it. We're a unique little spot on the planet. We're right out in the middle of the North Atlantic, and we got some beautiful geology, some beautiful forests, and wide open spaces, and not a lot of people visiting. We're hard to get at, but we're very special once you get here, because the hospitality and the friendship you make lasts for a lifetime.
Joe, you must have encountered many people over these years, many experiences that they've had. Is there a story that sticks out? You strike me as a storyteller. Well, is there a story that sticks out?
Well, I met Tina Turner. I met David Bowie. All kinds of superstars and rock stars, and they all love it here, because you're just an ordinary Joe. In Newfoundland, everybody fits in. Because you're an island people, everybody works together, and there's a friendship and camaraderie that they don't find in a lot of big cities. And so that's really, really unique. David Bowie's quote was, "I didn't understand why nobody knew me."
Yeah.
And Tina Turner said, "You don't believe that I wear that hair all day long." So all these kinds of people just love it here. A fellow like Brian Adams said to me one day, he said, "Listen, Joe," he said, I envy you." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "You can walk along the street," he said, "and get a bowl of French fries and dip it in gravy," he said, and nobody bothers you. He said, I can't walk down a street in Toronto without being picked on." And he said, "I feel really comfortable and safe here."
Yeah.
So that's what people are looking for. And then we got beautiful food. We have all great fresh fish. We have lobster in season, all this beautiful product, and just wide open spaces. Go up on a cliff and look down at migrating humpback whales or a 10,000-year-old iceberg drifting down from the polar cap. It took 10,000 years to get to this spot. And then you hear, like you're in a war zone, a crack, and it's the air melting within inside the iceberg, and it's imploding from inside as it warms up. That's a sound, it'll imprint on your brain forever.
Right. And Joe, I also love, and I've noticed on your lapel there, you're a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. I love how you've merged your passion and hospitality and being on the sea with your service to your country as well in that role. That's fantastic.
Well, as being a mariner, we have a code. And the code is you leave no man behind, and you can't leave a boat in trouble. Now, because I ran passenger boats for a long, long time, I'd have special vessels dedicated if the boat was in trouble. So for over 40 years as a Coast Guard auxiliarist, we'd always be there to help people in trouble. And then you also teach people. You teach people about wearing a life jacket, that it's important, having an anchor on board your boat, and having some sort of a compass to know when the fog comes in, or your cell phone goes dead because your GPS is gone, how to get in out of it. And then, you know, it's boater safety, and you can never stop talking about boater safety, and we love all this, and we love to show people puffins and whales and icebergs and geology, looking at giant sea stacks that have evolved over thousands of years. It imprints on people's brain.
Joe, you stepped back in to help out at the resort. Your friend passed away. Give me a little bit about the resort. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Kilmory started out to be 7 little tiny cabins, and it grew to 25 cabins. It's competing in a global industry, but it's down in the bottom of Placentia Bay, up in a great big long fjord where the ocean pushes in. You got beautiful seagrass growing there. You got dozens of eagles. You got lobster available all summer long. You got snow crab available, and you got quiet. You don't hear a siren. Mm-hmm. You don't hear burp, 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 right? You don't hear clanging of air brakes. And to sit and listen to the wind whistling through the trees and sit back. Oh, and your cell phone is not really good connected either, so you even say I can't be doom scrolling, but so that sort of thing is cool. And my friend Roger spent 40 years building a business in a very remote spot, and they say it's so near but yet so far away.
Right.
And
Joe, an absolute pleasure to be in conversation with you.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate your perspective and everything that you've done for this industry. This is what the face of hospitality looks like in Newfoundland and Labrador. Thank you, Joe.
they're prettier than I am.